Okay, you can unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Your mic is muted, Mr. Florence. Okay, no problem. No problem. Okay, good, good. Okay, good. Okay, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening. So how are we all doing today? I believe we're fine. So today, very quickly before Dr. Alabi comes on, we're talking about today's challenge, which is for us to review our 2021 goals. So we're going to talk about that very quickly. Okay, no problem. There we go. We're going to talk about that very quickly. Our 2021 goals. Did we set our goals at the start of the year or before the year began? Did we set our goals? How did we set the goals? What kind of goals did we set? How have we been measuring our level of achievements with regards to the goals we set? How well have we succeeded? What have we done? What haven't we done? So reviewing the goals today, I'd like us to discuss everything. Talk about the goals, how you broke down the goals, how did you break them down, and how are you planning to ensure that you're able to achieve all the goals. We talk about the goals being SMART. So how are you, even though they're goals that have to do with your personal life, your family goals, your health goals, it depends on your academic goals, career goals, different types of goals. So what are these goals and how far have we come? Reviewing them, do we think that we're doing well? Do we think that we've started on the right foot? And how are we going to look at ensuring that we are able to achieve and we pull through without procrastinating? Because there's one thing that a lot of times as all adults that we do, we procrastinate a lot. I will do this today, tomorrow, the day after. It's always very easy to write down the goals, but making them SMART and ensuring that we're able to pull through. And by the end of the year, we look back and we feel happy with ourselves is another thing. So a lot of times when we set these goals, mid of the year, 2, 3, 4 months down the line, we forget everything. And then when we look back, we feel really bad. So let's talk. So how far or how well did we fare with the review of our goals? All right, I'm going to start with you, Mrs. Florence. I'm going to start with you.
Talking about goals, I have some goals before the year ended. That's it where last month we had a serious challenge, health challenge. I'm still trying to recover. My son had an health challenge, so I'm still trying to recover as in settle down for the year. Like today has been a very busy day for me. Maybe later in the night I will go through those things to review the goals. I don't know. Well,
but did you set your goals at the start of the year?
Yes,
right?
I did before the start of this year, which I usually do. Yeah, before this challenge came in along the way, but we are coming out of it. I'm just still trying to measure up, using all this to come out of whatever it was.
Okay, so but did you try to take today to do a review? Just like the way you did the dance challenge, all the others. Did you try to take it up as a challenge today?
No, I have not been able to do that. In fact, I did the massage today because the lady was chanced today. No.
That's true.
After that, I had so much to do. Then later in the night, I will get my book again, sit down and go through what I've done. Because it's only at that time I will be chance. Or, it needs you cooling down your head to look at things.
Okay, well, no problem.
That's it for me.
All right, no problem. No problem. So
I understood the smart stuff, what I wrote there, at least I understood it. It has to go along that line for you to be able to achieve something. Because if it's too high, it may discourage you to. Most time I start with the week, the months, before we extend to the year. But for now, coming out, I'm out already.
all right, no problem. No problem. All right. Thank you very much for the contribution. Well done. Okay, so let me call on Blossom Isika. Blossom. She there? Would you like to unmute? Okay, good. Thank you very much. Thank you. You can turn on your video so we can see your face.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm just coming up briefly because I'm actually in the hospital. My daughter is admitted in the hospital. Yes. So this is my face. This is my face.
Yeah, that's
I apologize.
all right, so very quickly, we're happy you were able to make this evening. So very quickly, were you able to take up today's challenge? And how did you fare with it? Mrs. Florence, you can mute your mic now. So Mrs. Blossom, were you able to go along with the challenge today? To review your goals of the year?
I didn't do mine today. I actually did mine over the weekend because over the weekend I joined the goal scoring section, the 3 days goal scoring section classes where we had to review our goals. I'd already set my goal for the year, and then we had to review our goals and set it in a smart way so that at least it's achievable. And for me, I looked at 5 broad areas. My health, the more reason why I joined the 21 days challenge. Like I mentioned during the gratitude, was it Sunday, gratitude day, challenge day, that is the first time I'm being very intentional with my health. So my major goal for the year, apart from one of it is being intentional with my health and ensuring that I take charge whatever happens around and within my body. Also, financial goal, I have my career goal, spiritual goal, and family goal. Over the weekend, it was an extensive session. I did that. And I reviewed what I had done in January so far. And so far, in terms of health, in terms of career, and in terms of spiritual, I'm on track. Where I'm lacking and I need to buckle up in this February is financial, most especially my financial needs. I need to take some certain decisions, very hard decisions. So of course, yes, I have reviewed my goals and I've been very intentional about it so that at least I've set a quarterly target for myself. And this is February. By March, the first quarter will be over. So I'll have to do another quarterly review to see where I am and if there's anything I need to adjust or if there's anything I need to progressively pursue. So that's where I am as regards my goal planning section.
That's fantastic.
I've already been joining the morning exercises section this week because my daughter has been on the
well, you can watch it on YouTube. So if you can't meet up in the morning, you can always go back.
Yes.
Well done. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
I can't take so much because Dr. Alabi has to come on stage now. He has to take over now. But be that as it may, let's just remember to ensure that we work on our goals. We do the review quarterly, like Mrs. Blossom said. If you want to do a review monthly, it's fine. If you want to do it on a weekly basis, so we're actually able to track everything we're doing. At the end of the day, when we're able to achieve those goals, we stay happy, keeps us happy. And when we shouldn't let the goals be too high, something we can't achieve. Let it be measurable. Let it be smart so that we stay happy and healthy at the same time. Thank you very much to everyone. Dr. Alabi, good evening, sir. You're welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Lotta. Thank you so much for the thank you for the opening. We appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, I'm trying to, and then that's a nice. Well, the contributions also from Komeno. So you keep calling. I don't know why you keep motivating her name like that. You want me to charge you? Yeah, Komeno. Yeah, Mrs. Fatima Okunu joining on Facebook. Good evening. All right, stop this one. Okay. Nice contributions. Mrs. Blossom, good to see your face. Good to know that you are joining us on this platform, and then you're also taking actions and steps based on the things that we are doing here. That's interesting. Okay, I would like to start today by just saying, I don't know, we have fewer people connecting. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, some people are connecting on Zoom. Okay, all right. So, and quite a number of people are joining from YouTube and Facebook. All right. Okay, so I'd like to say that the reason for reviewing our plans for 2021. I said something yesterday. Was yesterday I said that, or the day before yesterday? That it does look like 2020 was not too. It did not come as planned. For many of us, it was a year that we were shocked or disappointed. Our plans at the beginning of the year, we weren't able to walk through them. So we intentionally said this year, and in this program, we should review so that you can review upward or review downward. That I got to know from my accountant friends. So when they tell you they are reviewing your budgets, so that they want to review it upward or they want to give it a downward review. Right. So for some of us, we want to review our plans upward. For some, we want to review them downward. The key word is being flexible and not to be too hard on ourselves. As of yesterday, the Prime Minister of the government of Canada said they are not sure when things would come back to normal. They're not even sure what's going to happen in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years either. And so I know we have expectations, but we should make our expectations so flexible that even when what we had planned do not go as planned, we do not allow ourselves to be dragged down, dejected, discouraged, and disappointed by the disappointment, right? So one of the major reasons people fall into several crises, health crises as well, is because of unmet expectations. I was sharing about the 3 phases of life. The first 40 being the years you learn, and the next 40 being the phase where you earn, you make money, you get reward from the things you learned in your first 40 years. Unfortunately, the cliche, the saying that a lot of our people are imbibed is that a fool for 40 is a fool forever. Somebody may not hold a school certificate, a first school living certificate at the age of 40, and may turn out to be a PhD holder before the age of 50. I'm a witness to that. One of my friends, we were in secondary school together. I got to university before him. He never gained admission into university until I was done with my first degree. He never entered university until I was done with my first degree. But this is the twist of it. He finished his PhD in less than 8 years. So some of the things that we have, some of the philosophies and principles of life we have imbibed, there is a need to review them as well, especially as regards expectations. A lot of people, when they cross the age of 40 or they are 42, 45, comparison begins to set in and they begin to compare themselves with their mates, and that would rob them of their health. My advice is that as long as there is breath in anyone's nostrils, it is too early to write anybody off. And this advice spreads across all spheres, and that is the way I view life. I've seen people who are married for 10 years and they write boldly on their CV that they have a successful marriage. The 10-year marriage, you call it successful? Maybe you are speaking by faith. I don't understand. Nobody. In fact, when it comes to marriage, your marriage is only successful at your funeral. That is when we know you have succeeded, because according to the agreement you signed, it is till death do you part. So that is when we know where. If the day they are burying you or the children came up and no other child comes from nowhere, we see everything, the indices are there. Your wife could say, well, this man lived well, we're going to miss. Not those lies people lie at people's funeral, It's when people die, people go there and say every beautiful thing about them. That is not exactly kind of thing I'm talking about. But after you have left this world, we look at everything and nothing is coming up. And we know, yeah, that's a successful marriage. So until you die, until everybody dies, marriage, once you have entered into that covenant, that agreement is something you keep working at. There is no, it's something you keep servicing. Let me use that word. And so many people are distraught because they are comparing their marriages with some other people's marriages. I don't know why that should happen. Nobody has, your journey is your journey. Own your journey. Own the mistakes in it. Own the disappointments. Own the failures. Own the success. Celebrate the successes. Own it. It's your life. It's nobody's life. And so let that be your motto as we enter into this new year and as we begin to review these plans. Nobody, I want to say, don't borrow to do anything. Whatever you do, make sure that you have a lot of liberty. Try to factor your freedom, your peace of mind into whatever you are planning. Freedom in the sense that, no man, let no man own you, because whoever you owe owns you. So if no man is owning you, for example, I can decide today and say, well, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you for all that you have done. I want to go farming. I want to stop this that I'm doing. I want to go into farming and agriculture. That is where my passion is leading me towards. Nobody's coming to beat me. Nobody. I did not take school loan to go study somewhere that I need to return the school loan. I have not made any covenant with anybody over what I'm doing. I'm following my passion. I'm following what I love to do. I'm getting fulfillment therein. If tomorrow I do not find that fulfillment, I'm out of it, and I will not even apologize for leaving. And so that should be the way to live. But if you have to leave and then you begin to think of, if I leave this and this and that, that is not even a business you should even plan of going into in the first place. Any partnership, that the exit is not defined, only the entrance is defined. People enter into agreements, they enter into covenants, they sign documents and papers that has several entry. The entry points are several. They only give you one tiny space to exit. That is another slavery you are entering into. It could be an employment, it could be a business partnership. It is not the right kind of thing to do. That's the reason when we ask people to join the WhatsApp group, it's free to join. And when you think you don't want to continue, you can exit. Nobody's going to hold you. Nobody's going to flog you. It is the beauty of becoming an adult. Like some young people are saying now, they say growing up is a scam. It's a scam because now you are paying the bills. Before now, somebody was paying the bills. Now you are paying the bills. You know what it is to pay the bills. So review the plans, Factor in your peace of mind. And that is the whole essence of this. Factor in your peace of mind. Forget motivational speaking. I beg you in God's name. Anybody can tell you to go eat or run at anything. you know the capacity of the engine that you are carrying. No matter how much you motivate a fish, no matter how much you motivate a lizard, it can never fly in the air like a bird. It can never. You're only going to be flogging that lizard. Take it to 3-story building and say, oh yeah, fly. It's not going to drop. Hit his head. That is what is happening to so many people. So find your turf, find fulfillment in it, factor in your peace of mind, and then even if things don't go your way as planned, it won't eat you so hard to the point of affecting your health. So today, I'll be speaking today about antioxidants and their importance, their relevance. And the reason I'm going to do this talk today is to help every one of us understand this major precursor to a good health. So as much as we are advocating people to eat well, to take this and take that, this particular subject or group of foods, they are foods found in food. This particular group, they help the body a whole lot in the sense that they are able to help the body to reverse several disease conditions and to prevent several disease conditions. As a matter of fact, most of the diet advisory that we provide is targeted and aimed towards intentionally introducing these antioxidants into our meal and then introducing them into our bodies. I know many of us are beginning to hear, and you will begin to hear of so many superfoods, and then some have grown them into calling them plant stem cells, and then they tell you about the wonderful things that they are doing. Right, so please, so that after this class, if you send me an advert and ask me, should I buy this, and I don't respond, you will not be offended. So I would advise you listen well so that we can clear this once and for all. Save your money. It will save you a whole lot of money. It will save you a whole lot of headache when you know what exactly is being marketed and being thrown at you. Now, I break this down into little chemistry, which I would want to easily or simply explain. The most common compound that we know is water. And water has a formula, H2O. 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Now, every atom has gotten what we call electrons and protons in them. In most cases, or in all cases, the number of electrons is always equal to the number of protons. Protons are positively charged ions. Electrons are negatively charged ions. So when an atom has 2 protons, it's going to have 2 electrons. In the case of hydrogen, hydrogen has 1 electron and has 1 proton. Oxygen, on the other hand, has 8 electrons and has 8 protons. So they balance each other out. And just like in the case of magnet, where you have the positive end of a magnet and the negative end of a magnet, that is where you get the theory when they say, like poles, they repel each other. Unlike poles are the ones that we attach. So negative end will fit in and marry a positive end. So negative ion will marry a positive ion to find or to form a stable atom. If there is a deficit of ion, that electron in most cases, that atom will not be stable. For example, let's say it has, out of the 8 electrons or out of the 8 protons, 2 protons decide to malfunction. So it's left with 6 protons. So it now has 6 protons and 8 electrons. That means that there is a deficit of 2 electrons, 2 ions. Those 2 ions that are unpaired, they become radicals. They become radicals. Why? They have no twin to pair with. There is no coupling happening there. Right. So electrons pair with protons. Protons pair with electrons. And these happen to make an atom stable. And so when they combine together, when 2 atoms of hydrogen combines with 1 atom of oxygen, they come together to form a molecule of water. And we have what we call H2O. Right. So when you put water, H2O, into, let's say, a microwave oven. Now you microwave it under an oscillatory frequency. What that does is that the entire molecule, the entire compound is shaking vigorously at the speed, and with the heat that is contained in the speed and the light and the emission going into them, a whole lot can happen. Damages could happen. Some protons could be lost. Some free radicals could be produced, because once 1 or 2 protons are damaged, that means there will be an unpaired ion. There will be 1 ion, either an electron or a proton, that is not paired. And that is the onset for having what is called free radicals. Now, free radicals can be formed not just by introduction or exposure to radioactive, ultraviolet rays or frequencies and stuff like that. Also, there's a process called oxidation. Oxidation is a normal biological process that our bodies go through every now and again. And then radicals are usually byproduct of such process. No, we can't even rule it out that our bodies will not go through oxidation, then we'll be dead. So oxidation is important, but each time oxidation happens, usually free radicals are produced. Now, free radicals can be beneficial and they can be harmful, depending on how our body is able to balance free radicals and antioxidants. So what are antioxidants? Antioxidants are those nutrient factors that contain molecules that when they are injected into the body, they can easily accommodate a free radical. They can easily accommodate a free radical. Now, if within the body, I think I've also said that here, that most of the things we do right now in medicine is not too much, it's not all about biology alone. It's a bit of chemistry, a bit of physics, because all our bodies are made up of those chemicals, compounds, electrons, protons, and radicals are also being given out. Now, when our body, through its operation, through metabolic activities, breaking down food, getting nutrients and all of that, it's like somebody who wants to you want to turn what you call your swallow. I've said we shouldn't be saying that swallow word here. There's nothing called swallow. But you want to turn your food and all of that, I said, so if you take your flour and then say your gari right now, you pour it you turn it into the pot, hot water, and there is no way. Some people are very perfect at that anyway. But you know that there is no way you want to pour that thing in there. There will always be some crumbs of, the gari around the plate on top of the table. Somehow, some will just fall. Maybe you don't notice it. I do. By the time you lift up the plate, you will see a trace. At least a few crumbs will be there. Now, through every metabolic process or activity, somebody is thinking, does that happen to me? And that's why if it doesn't happen to them, they are very detailed. They won't allow a spill around them. Anyway, so for some of us who are not that detailed, we see it, we find it around. So when we want to clean the countertop, we see that, something dropped, and then we want to mop it up. Now, during normal body metabolism, a whole lot of, a few radicals like that are also produced. Now, these radicals, what they do, because they are unstable, what they do is that they begin to look around every area of the body, looking for a tissue in the body, looking for an organ in the body, looking for a cell in the body where they can steal an electron, or where they can attach themselves to, where they can be paired, and so that they can remain stable. Now, whichever part of the body where they steal their deficient whatever from, that part becomes unstable. That instability in that cell or that tissue of the body may radicalize the entire cell and tissue, cause tissue damage, cause mutation of the DNA. The DNA may begin to misbehave and misfire, which is the reason for cancer production, the initiation of the cancer disease in any part of the body where it is found, diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension. It's also, can also be traced to the presence of free radicals who had gone to steal an atom so that they can be stable, within the body. This is the reason our diet advisory is so key in whatsoever we do. And sometimes I do tell you that we try sometimes to tell people what to eat, how to adjust their lifestyle and their diet. And even before they begin to take on supplements, they begin to see changes, they begin to see things begin to change. Why? Because from the meal they are taking, their body is already producing those free radicals, and those free radicals, their body is already producing antioxidants. They are taking antioxidants that are going into the body to arrest and address free radicals. Now, you will find so many superfood products that are being released. I will not mention any brand. A lot of brands are right there in the market right now, made up of superfoods. I call them foods that are very rich in antioxidants. The reason they have the testimonies they are having is because once these antioxidants go into the body, they go to mop up all the free radicals wherever they are in the body. And once those ones are taken care of, then healing begins to happen naturally. The body begins to take up its rightful place to heal itself and reverse the disease condition. Whatever the disease condition is, the body will reverse itself of them. I remember when I was taking up a client, and then I told them to get the nutrient shake because of the number of nutrient factors that are contained in the nutrient shake. Okay, and then they did not argue with me. They went ahead to get it. After a while, they called me back and said a friend of theirs in Nigeria had introduced them to this stem cell product. And I said, can you send me what you have? Let me see what is there. By the time they sent it to me and I looked at it, I said, how many nutrient factors are in this? Maybe just 12. I said, the nutrient shake I asked you to get has over 82 nutrient factors. So value for value. Those things are very expensive because they are sold on multi-level marketing. I'm not selling market for anybody, so please, I'm not saying they are not. You can go ahead and get them, right? Nothing is wrong with them. But I'm just trying to say that if you understand what exactly they are selling to you, you will prioritize. You'll be able to prioritize the important, know what you are buying and know what you shouldn't buy. At the end of the day, do you really need it? Do you really need to spend that much money, on that particular product? Because I know so many people on this platform that are into multi-level marketing of products. So I'm not spoiling your market, guys, right? So this is also very important for you to know what I'm saying, so that by the time you are selling, I used to hold conferences and trainings for people in multi-level marketing. I will go there and I will teach them all the things I'm saying, so that it can help them to further convince their clients or the people they are selling to that this thing works. So if you know the mechanism behind its operation, it's going to be easier for you to market and sell, instead of just saying, buy this, it works. So how does it work? Why will it work? So this is why it will work. It will work because those superfoods, those stem cell products, they contain foods that are very rich in antioxidants, and the antioxidants, once they get into our bodies, they begin to help all those free radicals, so that the free radicals, let me call them the touts, the agueros, those touts, they just begin to fight and do all kinds of stuff in the body. Whatever part of the body that they are formed, that is their function. They never come to the body. They are never in the body for the body to do the body any good. So it is only wisdom for anyone, whether you have a disease condition or not, to intentionally introduce these antioxidants into your diet. But before I talk about the antioxidants, all right, because what they also do is that they can donate an electron, they can donate an electron so that the free radical can pair it up and then they become unstable, right? Okay, so there is also a process, there's a term called oxidative stress. And now, oxidative stress will happen when there is an imbalance in the antioxidants and the free radicals that are roaming the body. That is, you have more hoodlums in your body than you have the Nigerian police force, the cops, to attack the hoodlums. So they will loot and they will keep looting. They will loot those who have stolen palliatives. They attack fatty cells. They attack brain cells. They attack tissues, anything whatsoever. So it is so important because these are what our body is made up of, cells and tissues, and that is what they are made up of. So anything we want to achieve anything at all, this is a fundamental building block, a foundation for us to be able to achieve success in any treatment that we commence on. All right. So I've said it could lead to diabetes, it could lead to high blood pressure. Several inflammatory conditions are because of free radicals that are not arrested, hoodlums that are walking around people's body. It could also lead to neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, all right? And even with children that even with kids that we handle for cognitive delay, all that we have read up, we have studied and researched as regards autism, is that there are certain organisms that are producing in the colon, and then from the colon, they are able to transport themselves down to the area of the brain. And then when they get there, they produce propionic acid, right, in high proportion, which hinders the development of the brain of children. It is these that our diet advisory and lifestyle modification will always address in line with certain supplements. Our supplements are usually herbs and superfoods to attack and address this. Before I came on the show, I just finished a consultation session with a parent of a child that they claim is on the spectrum. And I'm not sure they've done 4 months yet. I'm not sure. The 4 months or 5 months right now. Yeah, the child just went back to school, and the teachers they cannot comprehend what is going on. They're asking questions. What are you guys doing differently? Because they are saying, and I mean, the father was like, the girl is now sociable instead of the withdrawal symptoms, which is one of the things that is noticed in kids that are on the spectrum of autism. They withdraw, they don't want to play with anyone, they don't want to share. They express tantrums and they express frustrations with tantrums and anger display with the trophies. They have learning disabilities. Now she's able to do a 3-letter words and she could pronounce 3-letter words. That is a huge, developmental milestone. And what are we actually doing? What we are doing is that we are mopping up all these free radicals, those in the brain. We are mopping them up by the use of supplements, by the use of by changing the diet, so that the diet can be rich in antioxidants, which is very, very key. So what are the things I mentioned? Electromagnetic frequencies, like the use of the microwave. So when we tell people to use the microwave, it's because we want your food to enter into your body as a whole component, so that your food is not, so that free radicals are not already in your food before you even ingest them. Let the free radicals that your food will produce, let it be those ones that are products of, that are byproducts of the metabolic activities within your body. But just like I said, there is no way that you want to throw water into your microwave oven and you bring it out and you think you're still going to get back H2O. People who are scientists, we know that is not going to be possible. You either get an hydroxyl ion and then a positive and another negative H ion. That is what you are going to get. And hydroxyl molecule and another H molecule. That's what you're going to get. It will no longer be H2O because of the process those things are gone through. The same applies to most of the food that we ingest. By the time we throw them into that oven, when they are coming out already, there are certain unstable atoms that are there waiting to enter into our bodies. And then when they get into our bodies, they are looking for where to steal an electron so that they can become stable and leave the unstable state. Also, there are other exposures that can put us at high risk. Pesticides, I've always been talking about this issue of pesticides, and I will keep emphasizing them, that please and please try as much as possible to look into the issue of fumigating your house, right? Unfortunately, so I used to know someone who used to do the fumigation for my place while I was in Nigeria. And then I would ask him and say to him, well, you know what I do, right? You know my stand about all of these things. And I would ask him, I would want you to use those equipments that are, that are not so toxic, because there is no way you can remove toxicity from all these fumigating instruments, right? I said, is that way we can do that? And he will assure me that everything is using blah, blah, blah. And really, like when it comes in to do it, in those days, I remember that like we do it like once in a year, and when it comes in to do it, it's not like those people would do it in 3 days. You can still perceive everything. Your whole house is still very strong with the smell of all the chemicals that they use in fumigating the house. And you will see the impact. You see all the rats coming out to die from all their eating places and all of that. But unfortunately, we lost that brother to cancer. Yeah. And when I heard he passed on and that was what happened, in my mind, I do feel like this probably could be because of the exposure to these chemicals he was using, in fumigation. I'm not sure, but that was the first thing that came to my mind when I heard about his demise. The point I'm trying to make is that if you can avoid fumigation with those heavy chemicals, please avoid it, because they are recalcitrants. There is no way they dissolve or go into the stuff and they go away. Even the common sprays that you use in the house, I know that there are some organic stuff that you can use to send out mosquitoes from your area. There are even plants that you can plant around your house that is going to ward off some of these flies and insects so that they do not come into your house. They are repellents to all of these. But the chemicals are something you want to really watch out for. Even not just pesticides, some chemicals, and in detergents, you want to really look out for them. Some chemicals also in some of our skincare products that we use are things that we want to look at very well, because they can introduce, expose our bodies to producing radicals. Having this imbalance, or what I call oxidative stress, an imbalance between antioxidants and then free radicals within our body. This cigarette smoke, again, some of us are non-smokers, but we work a lot in smoke, in a smoke-filled environment. The people we relate with, places where we go, and all of that. Smoke will distort that balance and create oxidative stress, right? So you want to watch that. And it's not just cigarette smoke. What about the smoke from pollution that is coming from the environment, pollution from vehicles, pollution from, so people like to have their houses right in front of the major road. I don't know how they sleep. I don't know why you would live in such a place. These are considerations you want to put in while, buying a property for residential purposes or where you want to live. There is nothing. Why should why should a vehicle that loses control be able to park inside your living room? You should think about all of those security issues, actually. But aside from the safety issues, these are health concerns are also there. I'm not saying that now people who are living farther away are safer, but one way or another, you are the first recipient. You have a direct impact of all the pollution that is being released into the atmosphere, especially those carbon emissions from vehicles, right? I know that at some point they were trying to minimize and ticket vehicles that have excessive emission of carbon. They were doing that in the state. I'm not sure it was done in Lagos State. But there are things to pay attention to. Radiation, I spoke about that with the electromagnetic frequency. And then, pollution, I just mentioned pollution right now, that there are things that you really want to pay attention to. Then there is a common one that we do not pay attention to. 3 of them. One, If your diet is high in sugar, you are actually setting up your body to have oxidative stress. If your diet is high in animal protein, and you know what animal protein, the chicken, the turkey, the beef, you are kind of setting up your body for oxidative stress. As a matter of fact, beef will make the body rancid. It will increase the rancidity within your system. It's not something you really want to be sitting on and consume. And then you have people who are already 45 who can die because of ribs, pork. They did the research and found out how long it takes pork for it to digest within your system. I think it's about 72 hours or thereabout. And then beef will stay there for like 48 hours. And it's still within there, it's not yet digested. All of those are making your body to have oxidative stress. So at that moment, at that time, you're affecting your immune health. You are having so many free radicals who are attacking tissues and cells within your body. Oftentimes, if you want to have complete reversal for people who are down with any condition, these are the areas we work. So we are beginning to work against what the person has been doing before. Before now, this person has been eating this and eating that, but now we are saying for you to be healthy, take this out, take that out, so that we work in the reverse and now bring up antioxidants in your body so that it can go there and arrest all the hoodlums that are trying to loot your health. So we send them there. All right. So how do we handle oxidative stress? We handle them with the use of antioxidants. So that is why antioxidants are important. Now I'm going to list certain fruits or food that are very rich antioxidants. And when you look at those products, you will find them there. Lots of them contain berries. In fact, berries will be at the top. And when we talk about berries, the dark shade berries are high in antioxidative properties, right? The dark shade. So you are going to hear some names of some berries you've never even heard before. Even right now, people talk about elderberry. Elderberry is so important right now because of its impact in boosting our immune health. So in this pandemic, elderberry is something you want to have also with you, right? It helps your immune health seriously because of this, because it is rich in antioxidants, right? Then almost all the berries, especially the dark colored berries. So you have the elderberry, you have the blueberry, you have the bayberry. You have quite a number of them. Berries are there. Then another group are cherries, right? You want to have this. Then you want to have broccoli. Many people don't like broccoli. They are like, oh no, they don't like the shape. That is a very good food. That is a vegetable that has, that produces antioxidants. Right. You want to ingest such, include it in your diet. If you do not have arthritis, dark leafy greens will also come in handy. But if you have arthritis, it's been noted that you shouldn't take dark leafy greens. So broccoli would help, tomatoes would help, carrots would also help, right? Then your omega-3, omega-6, they are very good for the body. When it comes to oil, what kind of oil do you want to use? So there are so many people who are just wasting, their time frying with certain oils that will not confer any benefit to their health, right? Some of these oils, they tell you that they are fortified there with vitamin A, vitamins, whatever. A good oil does not need fortification. In fact, any food substance that you are buying and they say they have included something to it, don't buy. It's a waste of time. What they have done for you is that they have stolen from that food more than what they are replacing. Than the things they are fortifying with. An example is the case of sea salt, that about 36 things are removed from it, and only 2 is just introduced into it, and they also had an anti-caking agent, making it, making it an eyesore. It's not something you want to really, put in your body. So I say that do not go for table salt, go for unrefined sea salt. Why? When it is refined, they remove a whole lot from it. But when it is unrefined, then you still have it in its natural state where you can harness all the health benefits of that particular salt. So the same goes for oil. Do avocado oil. I've spoken about that, times that number. Do cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. Another oil that is becoming common these days is the M oil. If you go on Jumia in Nigeria, unfortunately, if you type M oil, most of the M oil there, they are not edible. They're not the great for that you can put in your food. They're the ones they put on hair. They are for skin products. They are for skincare products. But there is hemp oil that is edible that you can eat. That is a very good oil, rich in omega-3, omega-6. And then you are also going to consider your onions, your bulbs. That is why so talking about the bulbs, because of the high level of allicin found in garlic, ginger, onions, they have high production of antioxidants that are very helpful for the body now. So that is why when you travel to Asian environments, you find these people, even when they come to your own country, their body is always smelling of garlic. We don't like the smell. We are offended by it, but what is happening is that what is smelling in that garlic is what is fighting radicals in your body. It's what is giving them their health. So that you see them, they eat it like their lives depend on it. All right? And that is why it's also a blood thinner. So when it comes to cases of high blood pressure, it comes in handy. It helps the matter. It's because of this, because it produces high antioxidants, and then it goes into the body to fight and arrest all the touts and all the hoodlums, the free radicals traveling around in your body. So you want to look at your garlic, you want to look at your onions. So use onions in your meal in a luxurious way. I can't overemphasize that. A whole lot of us use onions sparingly. I know it's expensive, but please, if there's anything you want to intentionally put in your meal, it should be onions. You want to blend your pepper, make sure don't just put one bulb. Some people just put one bulb, they put it there, they blend, they are gone. Put 6, put 5, increase the intake. And after you blend with it, even when after serving the meal, you can also still have fresh ones. You see, have you noticed that with garlic and with onion, there is something peculiar to both of them? And what is that? The foul smell. After you are done, you've eaten onions, those days you take suya. I want to believe it's because of onions that suya has not killed people the way it should have killed people. Because as they're taking all the bad thing from the suya into their mouth, the onions is going there to come and neutralize some of the effect of all those things. Because if you look at the process with which they make the suya, sometimes it's not something you want to put in your mouth. The pepper they use, the spices they use, sometimes it's been there for like days, exposed and all of that, but thankfully, onions are there. That is what I call, even when we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Because it was the onions that was dying for us all the while when we didn't know what we were eating. We were just consuming everything. So increase your onion intake intentionally. That is something you want to do these days, right? And to give you health, cinnamon, turmeric, very, very good antioxidants. You see all the things I've mentioned. If you have been following all our programs before now, you will know that these are major components that we intentionally introduce into whatsoever diet advice we give, that you have to introduce that into your meal. One other group, that you want to introduce are spices, right? So I mentioned cinnamon, which is also a spice. Garlic is a spice. Turmeric is also can be likened to a spice, but you have other ones like oregano, you have basil, you have dill. All these are spices that are also antioxidants. By the time they get into your system, they are helping your body. It is not the cubes that you buy or the ones that contain MSG that is not helpful to your body, that are injurious to your body. I will give about 5 advices that can be very helpful to avoid oxidative stress, and then we can begin to consume antioxidants, increase the level of antioxidants in our body. The fitness session we are doing is very, very important, because what scientists have discovered is that a moderate exercise routine, a good workout routine, helps with the body being, help to balance that free radical antioxidant level in the body. Why? It's going to decrease the level of oxidation leading to free radicals in the body. Oxidation will take place, but the level of free radicals that will be produced will be decreased. That is what has been studied. So regular exercise is linked, to higher natural antioxidant levels within your body. So it's going to decrease the damage that can result from oxidative stress. So all this wake up by 6 a.m., join the fitness session class is something that you want to intentionally do. Aside from losing weight and all of that, this is one thing that is doing for your body and for your health. Please avoid smoking. Smoking is taking several dimensions now. There are those ones that are smoked in bottles. They call them vapes or vapes. Vape. Now, I don't know the names because I'm not a customer. There are vape. People do that right now. There is a hookah. You see those with young people. Smoke is smoke. You want to avoid smoking, and you want to avoid living in a smoke-filled environment that affects your body seriously. You want to be cautious with the use of chemicals in terms of your cleaning chemicals for fumigation, chemicals in your skincare products. You want to be careful with all of these chemicals around you, chemicals in your perfumes, in your colognes. You want to be careful with them. You want to also be environmentally conscious. That is also very important, that you are conscious of your environment. Be careful about issues like I said, where are you living? Where have you built your house, or where are you renting an apartment from? Why are you renting a place that is just on the side of it? In fact, there is a bus stop right in front of your house. Oshodi is right in front of your house. Why would you want that to be a place where you should live? You want to live in a place that has a lot of greenery, right? Intentionally plant trees around you. Plant trees around you because they help to reduce the body's exposure, right, to all these environmental pollution. So they are able to absorb all the carbon excesses in the environment so that you don't absorb them. And now they are giving out oxygen. This oxygen, as it's going there, is purifying the air that will breathe into our system. So you want to be conscious of your environment, and then don't be a contributor to the depletion of the ozone layer. Now, the people are saying that science is a scam because of all that has happened with COVID-19, and then they don't believe in climate change. Well, thank God, at last, the president that was touting that has been removed, because I do not know how somebody would say that the way things had been, before now. I remember Christmas when we were in school. That is when our lips will always be white, our faces will be dry. And when we are going to school, our mom will drag us back into the house. She will rub, not Vaseline, Ororo. She pour it on your face. Your face is looking white. Vegetable oil push you out. Or she will get a diago, that is shea butter. That's what she's going to rub on her faces. I remember Christmas to be filled with harmattan. Now, if you see harmattan, there are years that we have had Christmas without harmattan. And for anyone to say that is normal and does not believe there's a science behind that, is only I don't know what to call that person, right? Climate change is real, that things are changing. The world is not what it used to be. Now, it's important for us to take our stand so that we will not be contributors to the depletion going on in our environment, in the atmosphere. And how do you do that? Pay attention to the vehicles you are buying. Pay attention to the gas you are burning. Pay attention. It's a bit difficult in some countries. I would say these are from Nigeria, but in a country like Nigeria, where every household has gotten a generator, it is difficult. Because there is no power supply. So you can imagine the level of carbon emission going on in Nigeria, especially for people who live in cities, which is the reason you cannot but take on antioxidants. Let me say that again. So when we're talking about you eating raw food, please, because there are certain conditions people come up with, especially people who are from Nigeria. They talk about this condition, that condition. I have had clients that have refused to yield to several responses. I mean, you give them this therapy, it wouldn't work. You give them that therapy, it wouldn't work. These are therapies that for normal other people from other parts of the world. After 2 months, they are out of it. The reason the guys in Nigeria cannot be out of it easily is because the more you mop out those free radicals, they are exposed to more on a daily basis. The place they work, the places where they live, the environment and everything. Every man has a generator. And when you are even rich, it's even worse. If you live in some estates, they pass it through the gutter, the drainage. They pass the pipe through that drainage. It's not going anywhere. You are just suppressing it. It's still going to ooze up somewhere because it could be outside of the estate where the old drainage leads. It's going to ooze up. It's not going anywhere. It's still coming back to you. When you are flying, just kind of, you don't even have to fly, right? Just kind of go to the roof of your house and check. Just put your hand there. Or probably there's something, what's this called right now? There's a facing board before the main roof of your house. If you pull down the facing board and check at the inside of that facing board, you will see how dark the dirt there is. Dark dirt. That is not normal. Those are the impact. That is the impact of the pollution that is taking place in that environment where you live. Right? So, my advice, if you live in a place like that, you need to take on things that will detox you and that will help your body to fight off this free radical. One of them is what I call chlorella. Chlorella is one of them. It's a supplement that you can take. And aside from taking that supplement, ensure that your meals are filled with antioxidants. I've spoken about the reduction. I mean, I was going to mention sugar. Aside sugar, alcohol is also there. Reduce your intake or don't take them at all as much as you can. And then you are going to be able to, you'll be fine, right? So as a roundup, I would just have to say this again, that part of the things you want to also eat are those, I would call them, not lentils right now because they are all deeper and wider than that. There's a lot. Lentils are there. There are pulses. There are nuts. Yeah, let me use the word nuts right now. Nuts with their peels. You can take them. And those because they are rich in antioxidant polyphenols. And so these are also good saponins, which are anti-cancers, fight it. You can take all of these to fight off stuff from your body. There's a black eye, is it black eye peas right now? Peas. The like the kidney beans, right? That's a very antioxidative food that you want to intentionally introduce and include in your diet. All right, so it's on this point I'm going to stop this afternoon. I know I've exceeded the time that I want to take. Like I said a few days ago, that we are going to open the portal this week for people that would like to register for the weight loss bootcamp that's going to start in March. Right, so no matter where you are in your journey, I know people who are already started something before they come to the bootcamp. It makes it easier for them, right? No matter where you are in your journey, you can join that bootcamp. It's going to be very helpful to you and helpful to your diet. I'm trying to see what we are having tomorrow for our 1 day, 1 task, so that I can talk about that briefly or mention it. Today we said review your plans for 2021. Tomorrow, eat your lunch in the outdoor. Carry your lunch, put chopper outside. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. Carry your lunch and eat it outside, outdoor tomorrow. So that is what we're having tomorrow. Oh, wow. I wasn't saying people from Facebook. A whole lot is said. Mrs. Sumba Wright, Reverend Sumba Wright, she's here on our show today. You're welcome. Right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for taking our time to join us and being a part of this broadcast today. We hope it's been impactful and helpful to you. So please, you want to really, really increase the level of antioxidants in your meals. Introduce them consciously and intentionally, and you will reap the benefit. So we'll meet again tomorrow morning. Hey, do we have questions? Anybody with a question before we leave? If there are no questions, I know when I talk about chemistry and physics, everybody kind of run away.
I have a question, sir.
Okay, who is speaking? Tell us your name and then you can ask your question.
My name is Efuyemi Shomi. Good evening,
Oh,
sir.
Mrs. Shomi, how are you, man?
I'm
Good
very well,
evening.
thank you, sir.
Okay,
You
please go
said
ahead.
something about microwave.
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah. Okay, for example, does that mean I have to be cooking every day? Because
Yeah, you're right. Usually that is the that's usually the question. Yeah, that's usually the question people ask, so what do I do? Well, it's one of the reasons we asked you get the skillet. The skillet, I know the skillet from Solid Master is effective in doing that. And then even their pots, because of how deep they are, right? Because you can actually eat up your food without the food having contact with the pot. Right in the container where they have, you thaw it and then you dip it in there and then you cover it just like your steam pot, right? And then your food is ready, as it were. What we also advise, because I know how difficult it is, especially for people who live in this climate, to not have to, you can't cook every day and all of that. But what I always say is that as much as you can, you should reduce your exposure, you reduce the use of your microwave oven. And where you can, you should do away with it completely. So that is usually my advice. Thank you, ma'am. Do we have another question?
Yeah, please.
Can you please speak up? You need to speak up a bit. Who is speaking, please?
Apart from is it not on? Thank you.
Okay. Can you tell us your name? Who is speaking, please?
It's me.
Oh, Prof, sir. How are you, sir?
Okay,
I didn't see you in class this morning.
I think the program has helped me a lot. I woke up after this.
Wow.
I actually slept for almost 6 hours. I was surprised.
Wow.
The alarm ring did not wake me up, or did not.
You didn't? Okay, that happens. Okay. All right, please go ahead with your questions.
I wasn't happy that I could not join you. I've tried to get it. I mean, the very one, the more I could not want to
All right.
Whether you have not uploaded it yet.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. For this morning, it's on YouTube.
If you don't get it, I tell you to take a walk.
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
That we did before.
There was a mistake. There's a mistake on the titling of that video. So I guess that was why you didn't get it. It was mistakenly titled Day 13 instead of Day 14. So you were looking for Day 14. It was titled Day 13 on that video. So if you look for Day 13, you will find it.
Okay.
All right, sir.
The microwaving and then the warming on fire. That is, you cook your rice inside the drain in Nigeria. I put the rice inside put more water. It's on low flame to warm. Is it not the same effect it's having like the microwave?
Okay, so
it's preferable to warm on fire rather than the microwave.
Okay.
One must maybe cook every time.
All right. Okay, so the difference is this. In the case of eating up your food, Mrs. Onyelo Sisiogu, I'm going to have you come up. Just let me answer this question, Prof. In the case of eating your food, heat is transferred from one molecule to another. And as the heat is transferred, it spreads across your food. That is what warming does. In the case of microwave, it is not just transference of heat. There is an oscillatory force. Is that the right word to use right now? There's a kind of
vibration.
Vibration. Thank you. Thank you, sir. There's a kind of vibration. The vibration is what generates that heat. at the point of that going on, there is a dissociation of those molecules, and that is where the that is where it becomes possible for the loss of ions, and then you have the radicals already created. So that is the reason why that is advised or counseled against. But again, like I said, in the case of suya, that you take your suya in those days, and then it's because of the onions that you had to eat that probably has been saved, that has saved many lives in Nigeria up till now, right? So even if you take such food, ensure that you have fresh vegetables. You don't need to microwave a vegetable because they are always coming from the freezer, right? This idea of having 50%, even when you have to do cooked meal, the idea of having partly cooked meal and partly raw food is a great smartness. It's just being smart. That even when you're eating cooked meal, don't eat cooked meals alone. Ensure that there is a raw food that accompanies your cooked meal. It is to sort or help in situations like this, aside from the fact that, like I said, I think at the beginning of this session, that every food that is cooked is dead on arrival. Every food you cook is dead on arrival. Why? A larger percentage of the nutrients in those foods have already been denatured because they are thermosensitive. They respond to heat, and once under high heat, they are denatured. I think I said during the DAR circle and why we should eat raw food. All right. So this is a major course we take in the enthusiast class, which is why we recommend that class that please attend the 4-week. It's a 4-weekend session. This is not enough to break down all of these, but it's a 4-week session where we sit down and we handle all of these. So nobody's going to preach any diet at you. You know the things that are there. You know what they're talking about. You know the benefits it can confer on your body. So I hope I did answer that correctly, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Onyelo Osisiegu. I know Onyelo I know you must be a woman because Onyelo and Onyeka, they sound alike. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Please go ahead. Good evening, madam.
Okay, so I want to know if you have anything to say about palm oil. A lot of people criticize and condemn the African palm oil. But of recent, I watched doctors, white people, talking about how good palm oil is.
Yeah,
I've seen somebody cook egusi with tomato and rejected putting palm oil. I've seen somebody cook ogbono without putting palm oil, all because they say palm oil is not good.
Okay.
And I know I come from Delta State, and we eat banga. And it's not good. My generation will not exist because our great-great-parents have always been palm oil people.
Okay, madam. All right, Komeno, your sister is here. Yeah, Komeno is the first person I know from the Niger Delta that introduced me to banga soup several years back. Okay. All right, so I said in one of the sessions we had in this 21-day program that we should not allow ourselves to be scammed as Africans. I've seen people who are taking up this weight management program, weight loss program from the white people, and then they just run into it with everything. I saw somebody was like, no, this one you are doing, please don't follow them to do it. Just like I explained about the keto diet, and I said, the way they run it might work well for them because traditionally, their diets are protein-based. Ours are carb-based. How do I mean? One of the reasons I grew up disliking our Yoruba food from the southwestern part of Nigeria is the way we deal with the animal protein while we're growing up. They tell you to eat your meat last. And then the meat is a fraction of the entire meal that is in your presence. That is the African way of eating, right? In the Western culture is about the protein. So their food surrounds the protein. So they could have a whole turkey, for example, during Thanksgiving. Everybody go. In fact, when I first started traveling and I see the way they eat, I'm like, African children are suffering. Because the way our mothers had, so much exalted animal protein, like No, in fact, for some families, they will not, they will allow you to eat the meat, the food for, I know kids will want to have the animal protein first before they eat the main food. And once they are done with animal protein, they are done, they are leaving. So to punish us, to make us eat the food, they will not even put any protein on it at all. They will just begin to eat. Then when you are done, they will now bring out two piece. It's just one piece they will give to you. And that one piece will be one small, tiny piece, chunk of meat. Piece of meat they will put on your meal. That was the way we were raised. Now our food is mainly carbohydrate based. Their own food is protein based, right? So there are many things that we need to do in perspective. And one of the things pushing me out to do what I'm doing is to help people of color, because we are disadvantaged on two sides. One is that a whole lot of the medical research is going on out there, and a lot of the medications being pushed out to handle several ailments were not even tested for people of color. No clinical trials were carried out on people of color. An example, because when I said this at 4, people were like, no, it's not true. I think somebody actually said one that, no, it doesn't work like that. How can they make a vaccine in a pandemic? And to transport the vaccine, you will need to refrigerate it under a temperature as low as -20, -17, -13, -7. When you know that in some countries in Africa, they don't even have power supply. The temperature there is very high that they can't, even the refrigerator, they are free at home, don't go below below 2 degrees, sometimes 0, and that is the lowest you can get. So how did they move those vaccines? It means that somebody, while working to produce those vaccines, wasn't thinking about people in some countries, in some villages in Africa. And so we are disadvantaged on that side. The second area where we are disadvantaged is where we have allowed Western education and Western influence to take away from us the things that are helpful and helpful for our own health, through being woke, through our wokeness, through our trying to be tush, right? We trash the things that we have. And you know what the funny thing is, that we trash those things, so they look at us and look at where we kept them. So after we have left, they will go back to go pick them. They will dust it very well. They will repackage them. They will rebrand and sell them back to us. And we will now buy them at an exorbitant price. Second level of slavery. So why have I said all of this? Is on the issue of palm oil. And I've mentioned it here. I forgot to talk about it when I was talking about the oil that you need to use. There is nothing wrong with palm oil. Nothing absolutely wrong with palm oil. Let me say this, that palm oil is one of the, in fact, the palm fruit, the palm tree is one of the most blessed tree you can think of in the world. It is what is boosting the economy of Malaysia, that came to take the palm seed from Nigeria about 40 years ago. It has turned the economy around. It is used in fueling their generators, so they don't have carbon emissions that we are dealing with right now. It is, it is more efficient in terms of economy, in terms of efficiency. It produces more. You know, they are working in Malaysia on how to even use cars, drive cars on fuel, on gas produced from palm oil, from the palm tree. So in the Yoruba parlance, they will say that there is no part of the palm tree that is useless. And it's the truth. The leaves, they use the leaves to build. The raffia mat is from the palm tree. So you have a lot that they do with it, right? The problem is the way we treat it, the way we undo it. And I was telling someone that we eat up the palm oil before we eat it, before we cook with it. While cooking with it, we apply so much heat that we bleach it. We bleach it that everybody in the neighborhood begins to cough until our ancestors appear and say it is enough. We don't know when it's time to stop. What is happening? Somebody is frying the oil because you want to do ayamase, you want to. And I said, our engagement with oil is what we should review, revise, and reconsider. Just like they have condemned all the carbohydrates we take. There is nothing wrong with the carbohydrates that we take. It's only that we need to pay attention to how we serve the carbohydrates, how we cook them. For example, when we boil our yam, how do we boil the yam? We peel the yam, we wash and rinse and rinse and rinse. We throw out everything good in the yam and we boil it, not knowing that all we are boiling is just bland. So we think we are eating that. So when we eat that, the body can't make use of it. It's useless to our body. it goes down there, it is stored up as fats, and a lot of things begin to happen. That is why people say, oh, our carbohydrates is fat, they're fattening. They make people fat. That is not true. Carbohydrates they don't necessarily would make you fat. It depends on how you prepare it. Now, my advice on palm oil is that do not bleach the palm oil. Don't bleach it. When you are cooking with your palm oil, cook with the mindset of you are cooking an oilless soup. If at all you need to use it. So you apply it as a dressing, probably towards the end of your cooking, maybe 2 to 3 minutes towards the end. Then you throw it in there and then let it heat up for like 2-3 minutes. That will be sufficient to give you the same taste. It's not gonna have some slimy stuff in your mouth. It's gonna give you the same taste, right? But when you bleach it, it's a problem. Use it moderately. Put some heat there and use it moderately. It's okay for you. There is nothing wrong with our palm oil. And just like you watch on the doctor's show, it's just what I'm talking about. And so those doctors, they will now go to Africa. They will carry our palm oil, take it back to their countries, and begin to use it to cure and to help people. In those days, when people have stomach upset, palm oil is one of those things they will give to them. When people swallow poisons, palm oil has been used to neutralize the effect of poisons in people. There are many medical properties, many health benefits of palm oil. So for anyone to say it is bad, I don't know where they're getting their sciences from. So like I said, you need to pay attention to who you are listening to, because many people are reading from several different textbooks. All right. So nothing is wrong with our palm oil. Nothing is wrong with our carbohydrates, but we have to pay attention to the way we cook them before eating them. All right. I hope I've been able to, I was able to answer that question satisfactorily, Mrs.
Thank you.
Onyelo, sorry.
Thank you.
I was going to say Chinelo again. I'm sorry, Onyelo. Okay, thank you so much. All right, thank you, everybody. So we'll meet tomorrow morning by 6 a.m. for folks in the UK and US. It's 7 a.m. for those who are in Nigeria at your various times. 6 a.m. for people, at your own time. 7 a.m. for people in Nigeria. We're going to meet. And tomorrow's session, I think, is going to be with Dr. Ajayi. Dr. Ajayi should be back in Nigeria right now. Yesterday, I was able to watch the program. I didn't even know he was watching the program. So I guess they dashed him free internet in Addis Ababa. That's a country where the government can decide to shut down the internet of the entire country in 2021. Oh, so tomorrow is Coach Tokumbo. Tomorrow, Thursday, Coach Tokumbo. So please come in with your mat, with your sweatpants and all of that to sweat that tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. Do have a lovely evening. For those of us who are still in daytime, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. All right, thank you, our viewers from YouTube and Facebook. That is how we're going to take for today. If you are joining us tomorrow, you can come on board tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., while we continue this 21 day challenge. Thank you. Have a great day.